One man checked into a roadside motel. He blinked and an hour vanished. He was soaked, screaming, and bleeding, but he never left the room. Now he's trapped in a place he's already been before. Welcome to the motel that doesn't let you go, and it remembers you. It was supposed to be a peaceful writing retreat. Emma, a travel blogger from Seattle, had rented an old lighthouse on the Oregon coast to finish her book. The place was isolated, surrounded by crashing waves and thick fog, just what she needed to focus. But on her second night, something strange happened. She woke up at exactly 3:13 a.m. to the sound of footsteps above her, but she was the only one there. The lighthouse had no upper floor, just the light tower, which was sealed shut. Emma froze in bed, listening. The footsteps moved in circles, slow and deliberate. Then, silence. The next morning, she checked the staircase to the tower. The door was locked from the outside. No one could have been up there. She shrugged it off as a dream. Later that evening, she reviewed her camera footage. She'd left a GoPro recording the ocean through the window overnight. Around 3:15 a.m., the lens caught something horrifying. A shadow, tall, thin, and human-like, drifted across the window. But there was no balcony outside. Nothing for anyone to stand on. She called the owner. He hesitated before answering. "People hear things in that place," he said quietly. "It's been in the family for years, but we don't stay there anymore." Emma considered leaving, but her curiosity was stronger. That night, she stayed up to confront whatever was haunting her. At 3:13 a.m., the lights flickered. The wind outside died completely, and from the tower above, she heard a voice whisper, "You shouldn't have come back." Emma held her breath. The voice from the tower was clear, low, and human, but she was alone. Her hands trembled as she grabbed the flashlight and unlocked the tower door. The hinges creaked as it opened, revealing a narrow, spiraling staircase. Dust floated in the air. Everything was still. She climbed slowly, each step groaning beneath her weight. Halfway up, her flashlight flickered. She slapped it once, twice, until the beam steadied. At the top, the room was small and round. The lighthouse bulb was long dead, shattered. But someone or something had written on the glass. "You remember?" Emma's chest tightened. The handwriting was familiar. Her older brother Luke had vanished when they were kids. On their last beach trip right here in Oregon, he'd wandered off one night and never returned. All they found was his shoe near a cliff. She never forgave herself. She dared him to go up into the lighthouse, which had been abandoned then too. Emma looked around, heart pounding. "Luke," she whispered. No response. Just a sudden gust of wind that slammed the door shut behind her. She was locked in. She turned to the window. A reflection stared back. But it wasn't hers. A boy's face, pale, wet, crying. Then the whisper returned. "You left me." The air turned ice cold. Emma collapsed to the floor, sobbing. "I didn't know. I didn't mean to." Suddenly, the light flickered to life. Blinding, the whole tower shook, and then it stopped. The next morning, locals saw the lighthouse shining for the first time in decades. But when the Coast Guard arrived, it was empty. Emma was gone. Her laptop remained open with a single typed sentence. "I found." Luca had always hated staying at his grandmother's house in rural Kentucky. The creaky floorboards, musty smell, and long narrow hallway gave him chills. But after his grandma's fall, his parents insisted he spend the summer helping her recover. It wasn't the chores that bothered Luca, it was the night. Every night, the hallway outside his room would echo with soft taps like someone walking slowly with a limp. When he peeked, no one was ever there. On the fourth night, he stayed up late watching videos. Around 1 a.m., his screen suddenly went black. Power outage, silence fell over the house. Then tap, tap, tap. He froze. The sound was heavier tonight, slower, like dragging feet. He peeked under the door and saw a shadow stop outside, a twisted shape. The doorknob jiggled. Luca grabbed his phone, but it was dead. Then the door creaked open. In the dim light from the hallway, a tall figure stepped inside. Its neck hung at an unnatural angle, bones jutting from the side. One eye bulged from the socket. Its mouth hung open, jaw twisted. It tilted its head sideways, making a loud crack as the broken bones shifted. "Luca," it rasped. He ran out the door, down the stairs, through the kitchen. But when he opened the back door, the same man stood there, head hanging, neck broken, waiting. Luca slammed the door shut and locked it. He grabbed a knife and ran to his grandma's room. She was awake, staring at him. "You saw him?" she said calmly. Luca was speechless. Her eyes narrowed. "I told your father never to bring you back here. Not after what happened in this house." Luca stood frozen at the door to his grandmother's room. "What do you mean? Who is he?" he asked, heart racing. She didn't blink. "He was your great-uncle, my brother. He died here when he was 16, broke his neck falling down the stairs. But it wasn't an accident." Luca's skin turned cold. "What happened?" he whispered. His grandma looked away. "Your great-grandpa was a cruel man, drank too much, beat us one night. My brother tried to run away, but our father caught him, pushed him." She looked back at Luca. He landed at the bottom. His neck was twisted like a broken doll. But the strange thing was, even after they buried him, we'd hear footsteps, just like you described. Luca felt like he was going to pass out. You knew he was still here. She nodded. He shows himself to the youngest bloodline. Always does. I saw him when I was your age. Your father saw him too, but he never told you, did he? A loud bang came from the hallway, followed by dragging footsteps. The man was moving again. Grandma reached into her drawer and pulled out an old, worn Bible. Inside was a photo, black and white, of a boy with a crooked smile. That's him, she said. You need to speak his name. Tell him he's free. The door handle turned. Luca stepped in front of it, terrified. What's his name? He asked. She whispered Danielle. The door burst open. The broken-necked figure stood there, staring. Luca, trembling, said Danielle. You don't have to stay. You're free. The ghost flinched. Its eye twitched. It took a step forward. Danielle, go. You're free. Luca shouted louder. Suddenly, the ghost let out a deep guttural scream, then began to dissolve into the air like ash in the wind. The hallway fell silent. Luca and his grandma stood there, breathless. I think it's over, she said. That night, Luca slept without fear. The taps never returned. The hallway was quiet again, but just before sunrise, a knock came at the front door. When Luca opened it, there was no one there. Only a small piece of paper on the porch. It said in shaky handwriting, "Thank you." Kaya was just 9 years old when she noticed the strange girl in the mirror. It started the day her family moved into the old colonial house in Virginia. The mirrors in the house were antique tall, cracked at the edges, and dusty. Her parents thought they added charm, but Kaya hated them, especially the one in her bedroom. It wasn't her reflection that scared her. It was the other girl. Late at night, when Kaya got up to use the bathroom, she would sometimes glance at her mirror and see something that didn't match. The girl inside didn't always copy her moves. She blinked at the wrong time. She smiled when Kaya didn't. Her clothes were different, and worst of all, she had no eyes. Just black holes. Kaya told her mom, but she just laughed. You've got such a big imagination. But Kaya knew what she saw. One night, Kaya dared herself to stare at the mirror for longer. She sat on the floor and watched the girl in the glass. The figure stood still, then slowly raised her hand and pressed it to the inside of the mirror. Kaya did the same. A chill ran through her body. Then the mirror girl mouthed something. Kaya leaned closer. What did you say? The girl mouthed again. Let me in, Kaya screamed. Her parents rushed in. The mirror showed only Kaya crying on the floor. Her dad took the mirror down the next day and stored it in the attic. But that didn't stop the girl. Kaya started seeing her in other places, window reflections, TV screens, even spoons. Always staring, always mouthing the same words. Let me in. Soon Kaya refused to look at any reflective surface. She covered mirrors with blankets, avoided the bathroom unless it was daylight, and stopped watching TV. But the girl still found her. One night Kaya woke up to tapping. She turned on her lamp and saw it her old mirror, leaning against her closet door. Her parents swore it was in the attic. But now, it was back. Kaya was about to scream when she saw something worse. The girl in the mirror wasn't just standing still anymore. She was moving toward the glass. Her black eyes locked with Kaya's. And this time, the mirror didn't reflect Kaya at all. Kaya backed away from the mirror, heart pounding like a drum. The girl in the glass, her pale twin with hollow eyes, was getting closer, her hands pressing against the inside as if trying to break through. Kaya ran to the door, but it wouldn't open. It was stuck, jammed like someone was holding it shut from the outside. She screamed. Her mother finally burst in, flipping on the light. The mirror was gone. Only the closet door remained, closed tight. Kaya sobbed and tried to explain. Her mother knelt beside her, hugging her tightly. Honey, I think it's time we got rid of that old mirror for good. But it was too late. That night, Kaya had a dream more. What she hoped was a dream. She was inside a room full of mirrors, all showing her reflection. But each reflection was twisted. Some had missing eyes, broken jaws, blood running down their faces. All of them whispered the same words. Let me in. Let me in. Kaya covered her ears, but it didn't stop. She woke up screaming. Downstairs, her dad finally took a hammer and smashed the attic mirror into pieces. He even burned the wooden frame in the backyard fire pit. Kaya watched the flames, hoping it was over, but it wasn't. Later that week, Kaya's cousin Mika came to stay. Kaya warned her not to look in the mirrors, but Mika thought it was a game. That night, Mika laughed and said, Your mirror twin is pretty creepy. Kaya froze. She waved at me, Mika said casually. She was wearing an old-timey dress, like from the 1800s. Is that part of your prank? Kaya shook her head. You saw her? Mika pointed to the hallway mirror. Right there. She looked just like you, but wrong. Kaya panicked. She grabbed tape and towels and started covering every mirror in the house. But it didn't matter. The girl had already returned. That night, Kaya woke up and found herself standing in front of a covered mirror. She didn't remember getting out of bed. Her hand was on the blanket, about to pull it down. She was sleepwalking. And someone was whispering in her ear, Let me in. She screamed and snapped out of it. But the blanket was already half off, and the glass was glowing. Kaya begged her parents to move anywhere. They finally agreed, but as they were packing, Kaya caught one final glimpse in the hallway mirror. The girl was no longer inside. She was behind her. Kaya turned around. Nothing, but something cold touched her shoulder. The screen went black. Kaya vanished the next day. Her room was untouched. But in the mirror, someone else stood there, smiling. It wasn't Kaya anymore.